What's up guys, Tanner Chister, and in this video, we're gonna talk all about how to qualify leads. This is a very highly asked question, so stay tuned. I'm gonna walk you through how to get the perfect prospect into your sales funnel. Hey there, Tanner Chister teaching you how to build a profitable online business. Now in this video, I wanna talk all about how to qualify leads. Now, again, I think a lot of people when they start thinking business, they turn their brain off and they think it's completely different than other real life examples. So let's turn to dating. Dating is a very good analogy for business. If you're a woman or a man and you're trying to qualify a prospect, let's just say for this analogy, men are going for a woman and a woman's going for a man, okay? I know that I have same-sex friends, I have gay friends and things of that nature, but just for the sake of the example, I'm not discriminating. Let's just stick with a man and a woman and a man. Okay, so if you think about it, everyone has qualifications or things they like or traits in a person. So when I go up to a woman, okay, first thing right off the bat, typically for most people, before you ever approach someone, you have to have physical attraction, right? So we'll turn this into business in just a second, but let's just walk through this. So I see a woman, I think either she's not very good looking or I go, ooh, she's very nice looking. So I'm already step one. She has qualified my first step, which is physical attraction. Then let's say I approach her and I say a joke, okay? If she speaks back to me in Portuguese, it's not that I don't like Portuguese, but I can't speak Portuguese. So she's probably just disqualified herself. On the other hand, let's say she speaks fluent English. I happen to speak English, so it works. Next step is I say, hey, start getting to know her. What do you do? Me personally, I like a woman who has some type of entrepreneurial traits because they understand my lifestyle a little better, in my opinion. So if she goes, I work at the bus stop, nothing wrong with that, but that's not usually aligning with what I want. So it doesn't mean I'm gonna stop talking to her, but I'm probably like, okay, maybe disqualify her. Next question is I'm like, hey, do you do tons of drugs? Do you want kids? Do you want to go, get married? Whatever. If any of those questions do not match up, I'm immediately going to disqualify. So think about that in a prospect for your business, right? What do you typically need for a prospect? They're going to need to have a problem that you can solve, right? They're going to need to have cash so they can pay you. And they're going to think they need help, because if they don't think they need help, they're not going to pay for you. So check this out. Let's say you start talking to a prospect in Facebook, Instagram, you're DMing. And right off the bat, you need to see if they might have a problem you can solve. So for example, if I'm a fitness coach, right? I always do a fitness and business example in my videos because I get so many different type of clients now, but let's go with fitness. If they're not, first thing I'm gonna look for is, are they overweight? If they're not overweight, I probably am not gonna waste my time DMing a guy with a shredded six-pack. Well, why? Well, because he probably doesn't need my help, right? Why would you go talk to someone who's, for example, married? Now, I know married people cheat, so you can put that in the comment section, but most of the time, married people, they're monogamous. They have one partner. So why would I go talk to a married woman when I see a single girl right next to her, right? A lot of you do that. So you go talk to the wrong prospect, you're like, man, I can't make any deals. It's like, well, are they out of shape? No. Well, why are you messaging them? Oh, well, and you don't really have an answer. That's the first thing. Second thing is, once you've analyzed and messaged the right prospect, see if there's a need for help. So you might start messaging someone and you're like, yo, I do ads. And he's like, cool, man, like I got 3 media buyers. You're like, yeah, well, I do ads. And he's like, cool, like I have 3 media buyers. And you're trying to sell them something they don't want. Rule number 1, and if you've ever watched the Wolf of Wall Street video, actually it's the book, I believe. But there's a scene in there where Jordan Belfort in this book, I think it was like his kind of like the story around his real life experience, where he told someone like, hey, sell me this pen. And the guy starts oh, this pen's this and this, and he's just kind of sitting there. And then the next guy goes, so Jordan, how long have you been in search for a pen? And Jordan goes, I'm not. And he goes, okay, never mind. And he walks out. Basically, the way they describe that is, he didn't want to sell a pen to Jordan because Jordan didn't want one. So the hardest thing in the world to do is sell someone something they don't want. So a lot of you will talk to a prospect and you're like, see, they need it, but they don't think they need it, so it doesn't matter. You have to sell something that they want. The hardest job in the world is door-to-door sales. If you ask me, I've done it. Why? Because I'm showing up on someone's doorstep trying to sell something that they may not even want. It's the hardest sell in the world. So that will be the second thing. Then the third thing, as I alluded to earlier, make sure that they need it, right? So you might see, need it, because if they don't want it or they do want it, okay, if they don't want it, stop talking. If they do, keep going. And then make sure there's a need, because if they don't need it, right? But if someone wants it but they don't need it, it's a hard sell as well. So for example, could I go buy a very expensive car right now? Sure, but do I need it? Not really. So if someone's trying to pitch me on it, it's harder. It's not that they can't, but it makes it harder. So there's three things. Make sure it's the right prospect. You should do that right off the bat. Don't go talk to a married woman, talk to a single woman. Second thing is make sure that they need it, right? Do they look like they need something, or do they tell you they are having an issue with it? So what you're struggling, what are you struggling with? Oh, I'm not struggling with anything. Good luck selling them. Oh, you know what? I can't run ads. Oh, you know what? Cool. What have you tried? And then you keep going because you're like, oh shit, they could use my help. And then the third thing is that they want it, because at the end of the day, you can tell someone everything in the world, perfect pitch, and then they can't get it because either they don't have the right amount of money, or it's not that serious of an issue, so they don't care that much, or whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, people go, Terry, why do you cancel calls with people who want it but they can't buy it? I'm like, because they can't buy it. It doesn't make sense to spend and waste time and energy on that person when I can spend time and energy on someone who buys. It's not because I don't like people, want to talk to them or help them, but there's a lot of free content I put out. They can consume that. The people who are paying me, they get the different content, because that's how a business works. So I hope that makes sense, guys. This is how I would personally qualify leads. And a lot of times in your business, to just settle this thing down, stop thinking don't think business in real life is different. It's very similar. So if you learn how to sell girls or dates, on your life, or people on your job, and then you just move it over to your business, it'll work. It's just a lot of times people, they shut their brains off. They go, oh, this is so different. It's literally the same thing. Talk to people inside Messenger and DMs and Instagram the same way you talk to them in person. And if you're not good at that, practice. Go do door-to-door sales for 3 months. That'll be the best 3 months of your life, because it'll change it forever. Go try to pick up girls. Girls, go try to pick up boys. Practice, because people wonder why they stink at stuff. It's because they've never done it. So that's all I have in this video. I hope it is super helpful. If you want help implementing this in your business, click the link down below where you can talk to me and my team about a time where we can talk to you about your goals. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate the support. See you guys in the next one.